On Fox, a man is in jail tonight after being charged in the deadly shooting of a young woman in Affton. Family members are speaking out about their heartbreaking loss as the investigation unfolds. Fox News' Kelly Hoskins has more on the heartbreaking details.
My daughter was so amazing. She didn't deserve to be where she at right now.
Calvina Brooks says a family's worst nightmare is now their reality as she mourns the loss of her daughter, 25-year-old Kelsey Elem. Brooks says her daughter was full of life, now gone after a deadly act of violence. St. Louis County Police say 21-year-old Martino Lewis is charged with second-degree murder, armed criminal action, and domestic assault in connection with the death of Elm.
The girl just said the last thing she know was she said she was about to go beat on the dude Tito because of something he done.
See,
so he did something.
Tito the one.
He the one that killed my sister. He the one that killed my sister. He did something to my sister. He did something to my sister to make her react, and he killed my sister.
Look, they been into it for a while.
Yeah.
And my baby called me earlier when I was on my way somewhere. And I heard it in Kelsey's voice. I'm like, you ain't sounding right. What's wrong? I'm finna go get Tito. I'm like, okay. And that's all that was the last time we talked. So that's the last person.
So she said she been having problems already with this nigga. Like the up and down shit.
Yeah.
So that's what this girl is saying. The last thing she said was she was finna go beat on him for something that he done.
So that means if he did, he grabbed Kelsey's pistol.
My baby was taken away from me by a young man, supposed to have been her friend that she was taking care of, that she had so much, she wasn't in love or none of that. It was just about the heart and the care that she was trying to support him and help him.
Family members say Elm was a strong advocate for the transgender community and known for her kindness to strangers.
Some people will do anything to keep a secret, and Martino Lewis was one of those people. The 21-year-old chose to commit a violent crime rather than have an alleged secret exposed. Now, everyone knows what he was trying to hide and what he did to hide it. 25-year-old Kelsey Elem lost her life on April 24, 2025, in Affton, Missouri, during what started as a regular argument with her boyfriend. Born in Atlanta and raised in East St. Louis, she had built a life she was proud of. She worked as a certified nursing assistant and was passionate about advocating for the transgender community. Her family painted a picture of someone whose generosity knew no limits. She had embraced her transition journey completely, living openly and authentically. Just one day before the tragic incident, Kelsey posted a heartfelt message about her transition journey on social media. She wrote, "Transition was so epic it was a surprise to me, but a surprise to everyone. It's something I always wanted to do, and now I'm happy enough to embrace it. It took a lot for me to get here in a couple years, but hey, I did it. I'm proud of my life in so many ways. It just shocks me when I look back like I was that dude. Now that girl." Her boyfriend was 21-year-old Martino Lewis from St. Louis. 4 years younger than Kelsey, Lewis lived on Saloma Avenue in the city. According to Kelsey's mother, their relationship was marked by constant conflict. The relationship dynamic was clear to everyone who knew them. Kelsey was the provider, the supporter, the one holding everything together. Lewis, according to her family, brought nothing to the table financially. This was a dude she was doing all this stuff for, Kelsey's mother said. He didn't have nothing, not a dime. Despite the constant fighting, despite the obvious imbalance in their relationship, Kelsey kept trying to make it work. She continued supporting Lewis emotionally and financially, hoping things would improve. Her family watched as she poured her energy into someone who seemed to give very little back. While Kelsey was completely open about her identity as a transgender woman, Lewis allegedly had a very different approach to their relationship. He wanted all the benefits of being with Kelsey and her support, her care, her financial help, but couldn't handle people knowing they were together. This created a toxic dynamic, with Kelsey allegedly being treated like a shameful secret by the person she was supporting. The arguments between them weren't just typical relationship disputes. According to family members, these fights often centered around respect, visibility, and whether Kelsey deserved to be acknowledged as Lewis's partner, or kept hidden from his friends and family. The evening of April 24th started with tension and conflict. According to the official reports, the argument between Kelsey and Lewis escalated quickly. A witness heard them fighting and observed as the situation turned physical. Lewis punched Kelsey with enough force to cause visible injuries to her mouth. The witness could see that Kelsey was injured from the altercation. In that moment, Kelsey seemed to understand that the situation was about to get much worse. She made a desperate plea to the witness to call 911. The witness immediately complied, dialing emergency services and beginning to explain the domestic dispute situation to the dispatcher. But while they were still on that call, a single shot was heard through the phone line. The witness heard it. The emergency dispatcher also heard it clearly. The sound that ended Kelsey's life was captured on a 911 recording. The witness watched in horror as Lewis ran out of the house, grabbing Kelsey's car keys on his way out. He simply took her vehicle and fled the scene, leaving Kelsey alone on the floor. When St. Louis County police officers arrived, they found a chaotic scene. Kelsey was lying unresponsive with a gunshot injury that proved fatal. Despite the best efforts of first responders and medical personnel, she was pronounced deceased at the scene. Lewis had fled in Kelsey's black sedan, but he didn't get far. Law enforcement quickly began tracking the vehicle and located him in St. Louis City. When they apprehended him, he was still driving Kelsey's car. But Lewis didn't just run after the shooting. He actively tried to create a false narrative about what had happened. According to the charging documents, he handed a firearm to another witness and told a different story. He claimed that Kelsey had been shot while they were driving together, and that he had taken her to the hospital. This story was quickly and easily disproven by investigators. The evidence clearly showed that Kelsey was shot inside her home, exactly at the time when the witness was on the phone with 911 dispatch. The medical evidence, the crime scene, and the witness testimony all contradicted Lewis's fabricated version of events. When investigators interviewed Lewis after his arrest, he admitted that a physical altercation had occurred between him and Kelsey. The impact on Kelsey's family was devastating. Her mother had to face an unimaginable reality. Not only had she lost her daughter, but she had lost her to violence committed by someone Kelsey had loved and supported. The very thing Lewis was allegedly trying to hide, his relationship with a transgender woman, became international news because of what he did to conceal it. The irony was complete and devastating. The investigation into Kelsey Elem's death moved quickly. The evidence was overwhelming, and Lewis's attempts to cover his tracks were easily disproven. They had multiple pieces of evidence that painted a clear picture of what had happened that night. The 911 recording itself was crucial evidence. The emergency dispatcher had heard the gunshot while on the call, proving that Lewis's story about driving Kelsey to the hospital was completely fabricated. Crime scene investigators processed Kelsey's home. They found evidence consistent with the witness's account, signs of the domestic dispute, forensic evidence from where Lewis had punched Kelsey in the mouth, and ballistic evidence from the scene. Everything at the scene supported what the witness had reported to police. Less than 24 hours after Kelsey's death, on April 25, 2025, they filed formal charges against Martino Lewis. He was charged on 3 counts of second-degree charge, armed criminal action, and domestic assault in the 3rd degree. Lewis remained in custody at the St. Louis County Justice Center, unable to post the substantial bond. His case was assigned to the court system, and preliminary hearings were scheduled to begin the legal process that would ultimately determine his fate. As the legal process moved forward, Lewis faced the possibility of significant prison time if convicted on all charges. Kelsey Elem had lived her final day posting about embracing authenticity and self-acceptance. She had encouraged others to love themselves regardless of what people might say, but the person she had chosen to love and support allegedly couldn't extend that same acceptance to her, and ultimately, didn't even allow her to live. Family should be a refuge, but even the closest ties can fracture. Stay alert, look out for one another, and reach out if you sense danger. See you in the next story here on Fatal Family Network. Thanks for watching.